Hi everyone, Debbie here, and welcome back to my craft room. Today I'm going to, I just want to do some art. Well, what I call art. I love doing a little bit of mixed media, working with paints and papers and stickers and what have you, just for fun. Sometimes this is what I do just to relax. I love doing this. So I've been focusing more on planning and things lately, and I needed some time off. So to start with today, I am going to rip up some of this pattern. It's out of an old pattern. It's very, look at how cool this is. It's very vintagey and old and cool. So I am going to just rip some pieces and chunks, and because I am going to collage this all onto my background. Now the art book or art journal that I'm working in is just my typical cereal box cardstock. I take my cereal boxes and I cut them up for all the different things that I need. And I had some leftover planner rings for my disc-bound planner, for my Happy Planner. And I punched holes in the cereal box cardboard, put it on the rings, and turned it into an art journal. So this was the last one I'd done. I haven't worked in here for a while. And I'm just flipping this over, and I'm going to work on the back side of it today. So I use Mod Podge for almost everything. When it comes to sticking it down, I can't find anything better. Well, anything better for this price. There's all kinds of things that are probably better. But this works great, so why not? So I'm going to start, I'll just leave it this way. I'm going to start by putting a thin layer of Mod Podge. Now, I know a lot of people use their gels and mediums and different things for this, but I don't have any. I have a bare minimum of supplies that I work with, and I like this. I like using it. It's old school. It's what I'm used to. I Mod Podged, like just when Mod Podging itself was just a thing. And make sure you got it stuck down really well, and just put a layer over top as well. So I will probably fast forward through this and the rest of the project, and I'll be back when this is done. Okay, I've done that, and it's dry enough to work on. I've got a little bit of warping behind where I've got the page doubled up on the other side. So I'm just going to press that down and hope that my stencil works over it now. I got a free stencil in a, it was a paper pad from Die Cuts with a View that I got at Dollarama. That was in my haul this week. And there were 8 stencils, 8 different patterns like this on a 12 by 12 sheet. And there were 2 sheets. One had the 8 different patterns and the other one had 4 big flower stencils. So it was really nice to get that in a paper pad as an extra bonus, especially when the paper pad was only $4. So I'm going to take some of my homemade texture paste and see how that works. And I'm going to put a little bit on and see how this is. Well, that's pretty. Very nice. Hold that down. It's a little bit on the runny side, but not bad. It's coming out pretty good. Now this texture paste is made with some plaster of Paris, some white glue, some water, and I just found the recipe on, I just Googled it. I can't even remember what recipe it is. I'd have to go find it again. But I think it's going to work okay, especially for like my homemade, you know, just for my own crafting and stuff like that, my art journal. And I'm not trying to get these to last 1,000 years. I'm just, I'm just having fun. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to go have some dinner, and then I'll come back and I'll finish this page up. Okay, my tummy's all full and I'm back and I'm ready to do some more on this page. So I've got myself out some acrylic paints. I love working with acrylic paints. These craft paints are cheap. They're fun. They're easy to do. So I've got this Tropic Orange that I'm going to use. And I've got some brown and some toffee and some warm neutral. And I have this, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this color or not. It's called Eggshell, but it's like a green. And I have this metallic called Worn Penny. So let's see what happens here. I'm going to start with some orange. And I'm just going to put a couple of dabs on here. Like that. Just for some thin background, just a wash. There, I still want to see that writing through it. That's good. It's pretty. It is tropical. When we were in Florida, this was almost the same color as the walls in the condo we stayed in. You can hear my husband practicing his guitar out in the other room. There. That's some good coverage. And wash my paintbrush. Now, with these other colors, I am going to put a tiny little dab down and see what happens. A little bit of that. Few drops of this right over top of that orange. Better shake this up because this one's always thick. This Eggshell has a hint of green to it, not much, but just a hint. And then some of this Warm Neutral. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just brush I'm going to start with the lightest colors first. Now that orange was so thin when I put it on there that it really has, oh, I dabbed a little bit into the brown. It really is almost dry. So it's not blending with the other colors. See what I mean about that having a hint of green? Can you see that on the camera? Okay. Oh, there's a little bit of something. Just put that over there. Okay, now I'm going to start brushing just little bits of this brown throughout. There. Now, I'm going to take this other paintbrush, and it's just wet. And I'm going to try to take a little bit of this paint off here. I'm just going to wet it a little bit to do that. I just want to be able to see bits of that paper background. And the orange. I think I want to see more of that paper down right in this corner a little bit too. The thing about acrylic paint is that it is washable when it's not dry. Whoops. Got a hair. There. There, I like that, I think. A little bit more. I've got that neutral look that I want. A little bit of that hint of orange. The different shades of beiges and brown. And I can still see that background, and I can see that good texture. So I'm just going to give this a quick dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I haven't used this worn penny metallic. It's a repeat of something that I've had before. So I'm familiar with it. I've used it already. I love the metallics in this Deco Art paint. I haven't used this yet, so I have to take this. There. Now I'm just going to take, I've got a dry wipe here that has all these horrible, well, they're not horrible, it's horribly dirty, but this beautiful color. And I'm just going to put a little bit on here, and then I am going to burnish this. See? Just burnish it. Now, with these metallics, it depends what you've got underneath as to what color they're going to be. This shouldn't change too much because I've got these colors, these neutral colors underneath. Whoops, that's too much. There. So, and I'm going to put it not thick, but I'm going to put it on a lot of the page because I do like that shine. It little bit more. It really makes the texture pop. See how pretty that is? There. I'll give that a nice dry and a polish. Oh, that looks so pretty. Whoops. It's like polishing copper. It's so pretty. I'm gonna have to give this a really good scrub when I'm done. Okay, now I have, with the quote that I have in mind, I have some butterflies. And the ones that I want to use are this one. I'm going to put some glue under those so that they stick well. And this one. And the other two orange ones. But I'm going to get my quote words ready and put them on first, so that these will dry while I'm getting my quote words ready. I am going to, I feel like I'm talking in slow motion all the time because I'm thinking and talking, and my talking is like just behind my thinking. That probably doesn't make any sense to anybody that doesn't do this. So I'm just getting a little Mod Podge on my brush, and I'm going to put it into this corner. And I'm just going to give that a nice little thin coat, and then put this sticker down. And then the sticker will be glued down as opposed to just stuck. The stickers are really pretty, and sometimes I use them. Sometimes I'll go through magazines or books and things like that that have really cool pictures in them and fussy cut out what I want. This one's pretty sticky. I wonder if it'll stick down here. And then I can just Mod Podge right over it. Huh, maybe. Don't need that much. There, I'm going to let that dry to the side a little bit, and I'm going to work on some words, a quote. So for my quote, I'm going to print it on this white cardstock. and then I'll glue it down, cut it out and glue it down. Now, so this is what I want right here, okay? I want it to be nice and straight. Or maybe I don't. Maybe I want to do something different. I might use some different... has anybody ever done this? You just draw some curvy lines, and they don't have to... They don't have to go together. And then right between the lines, give me wings. I want that a little bit different. I'm so fussy. Okay. Okay. Give. There. Now I have a problem because, I'll be right back. I'm right back. I finished writing this out. Now I had miswritten this quote and spelled freedom wrong, which is what caught my attention. So I rewrote that one line and I cut them out, and I'm going to use Mod Podge to adhere them to the page. Oh, I want that over a little wee bit more so that arch goes over the butterfly. There. There. That one's down. I can hear the wind howling outside. It's so quiet in this room and the wind is just howling. We've had freezing rain today. We've had snow. We've had wind. The school buses were canceled today. It's just been a typical winter day here. I'm going to make sure I have a good layer of Mod Podge over top of this because it needs to be sealed for what I want to do next. And the same as these, they all have to be stuck down really, really good. And this coat of Mod Podge will let me do my next little bit. So I have this butterfly, that I want to put right here. I want it a little wee bit up there. There. It's easier to just push these down with my fingers sometimes when all that texture is underneath. And another one. Sometimes you just got to get in and get messy. There. So that's going to take a while to dry, and I'm going to run out and do something and I'll be back. I think this is dry enough. It has to be really dry before you can put pen to it, and I want to outline all of that with my Uniball Vision pen. It's a fine, and I haven't found anything yet that this pen won't write on. And it just glides. Even with the Mod Podge, once the Mod Podge is dry, this just glides right over it. So I can go along the outside edge of this paper. I keep turning this because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. Whoop, I almost went right into the word "and." You have to be a little bit light of hand so that you're not pushing on the edge of that paper. Especially with all the texture that's on this, it's easy to bump up and over the edge. See? I don't know if you can hear that wind out there or not. I know you could probably just hear my hot water heater coming on. But that wind is so loud. There. Can you see the texture and the print? All the layers underneath. You can see some of the edges of the paper. It just looks, it has so much depth when you make a background like that, when you put all that texture and layer it. I love it. I love doing this type of art. It's just so pretty. And when I'm done, it's just a whole book full of really nice things and artwork, and I can look back at it and just get it out every once in a while and take a peek at it. I love that. And my granddaughter comes and she'll get my art books out and sit down and look at them all, and she loves them. So that by itself just makes this worthwhile. So I'm debating on whether I'm going to put a border around this or not. I think I am. I think I'm just gonna do a stitch border all the way around because it's quick and it gives it a finishing touch. It's so easy. Art shouldn't be hard. It should just be fun. It should be fun for people. You should be able to just sit down and relax, create something, have some fun. There should be no pressure and no stress. It should be something that you love to do. And I just love to play like this. So and I'm not going to bother to go down that side. So there it is. It's going to dry a little bit more, and when it does, there's a little bit of a haze on it right now, but when it completely dries, that Mod Podge will be nice and clear and it won't have that hazy look to it. And that's the finished product. So I had fun doing this. If you enjoyed watching it, and want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button. And have a wonderful night, everybody. Stay inside, stay warm, stay cozy, and stay healthy. Bye.